introduction today too. You can say with me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Homage to our most venerable Pinnath Loku Swamin Wahanse, our teacher Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Most venerable Bhantes in the Asapur and dear Dhamma friends and children. Based on the Acharya Manuso, the marvelous book our Loku Swamin Wahanse wrote recently, we have here to talk about our supremely enlightened Buddha. So by this you have a good collection of information. Okay, today also we are here to talk about the Supreme Buddha, his wisdom. After becoming the Supreme Buddha, he talks about his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding, his liberation and everything. So we are here to talk about that, to make our minds faithful in the Supreme Buddha's wisdom, to understand the Dhamma and to practice. And then by now, you learn, I think, about the dependent origination, the deepest part of the Dhamma. It's the very deep Dhamma you learned, and you have a good knowledge of dependent origination, Paticca too. And today we will talk more about the liberation, the understand and the wisdom of the Supreme Buddha, about the sense faculties, and about the virtuous behavior of our Supreme Buddha, and more things about our Supreme Buddha. Okay? This is Can you see everybody?
Yes, Bhante, now we can see the whole page.
Good. I had a technical issue this morning. I don't know how to fix it. Okay, anyways, we will try to manage. Okay, everybody? Okay, this is what we talk today. The realization of 6 internal and external sense bases. This is the understanding, the wisdom of the Supreme Buddha. Faculties. So you see 6 faculties. 6 faculties here. Actually, 6 internal faculties and 6 external faculties, or sense bases. Okay? Okay, everybody, I want you to memorize these 6 sense faculties internal everyone has. Hiru, how do you read this? Do you like?
Realization of 6 internal and external sense bases. Eye, form, ear, sounds, nose, others, tongue, tastes, body, tangibles, mind, thoughts.
Very good. Okay, we will talk a little bit about this. What are the sense faculties? Sense faculties or sense bases. We have contact with the external world with these sense faculties. Only with these sense faculties. What are those? Number one, eye. Do you remember we talked this before too, the contact about the eye and everything. Anyways, we will talk about more about to understand these sense faculties. Eye. What is this eye? We have this physical eye. That's an internal sense faculty. It's a very important sense faculty we have. We have this eye. Not only human beings, the animals also have eyes, and heavenly beings and Brahma beings and other ghosts or maybe the hell beings, and everyone has these eyes internally. Okay? And with this eye, we see things. Do you understand this? We have this eye and we see things, which is called forms. The eye is the internal faculty, and then the forms we see are the external faculties, external things. Internal thing and external thing. You understand that? What do we see with our eye? Subhata?
External things.
External thing. What is the external thing we see?
The things in the world.
I don't hear you clearly, Pute.
The things in the world that we can
Yeah,
see.
we can say forms, huh? Maybe anything you see. Internal and external. And then the second sense base is the ear. We have that ear. What do we contact with the ear? This question goes to Dinuda.
With the ear, we hear sounds in the
We
world.
hear sounds. Very good. We hear sounds. But you know that we do not have any contact with the sound with our eye. We don't hear with our eye. Is that clear? We don't smell and we do not taste the sound too. Remember? Do you understand that? And we do not see the things without our eye. Even though we have this ear, we cannot see with the ear. That's amazing. These are internal faculties. Number one, eye. Number two, ear. And then the external faculty, we hear sounds, is the sound. Ear and the sound, they come together. And then the third faculty we have, internal faculty, is the nose. We have this nose, and with this nose, what do we contact with? This question goes to anybody else? Maybe Chamudi. Have this nose.
Yes, I'm going to answer.
We have this nose, and what do we contact with this nose?
Smells.
Smells. Very good. Even though we have this nose, we do not see with the nose. We do not hear with the nose. We do not taste with the nose. Only thing we do with the nose is we smell. Okay? For example, okay, we will talk about it later. The nose contacts with the smell, and then the next internal faculty is the tongue. With the tongue, we feel what? Goes to Dinara.
With the tongue we taste.
We taste flavors. Yes, you're right. So, for example, we have a delicious piece of chocolate. That's very, very delicious. Though it's delicious, we put that in our eye, what would happen? It's so painful. We do not taste the chocolate with our eye, but we can see the beauty of that. We can see the shape, we can see the colors, we can see the what is it called, the size of the chocolate, piece of chocolate, but nothing else. We cannot taste with the eye. Even if we put something in our ear, that would be a big trouble, right? We do not taste, we do not hear the sounds with our eye. So very, very basic information, very basic knowledge, but this is the base of the understanding. We contact with certain things with internal sense faculties, with outside external sense faculties. Remember, we go with certain things. The taste are contact with the tongue, only with the tongue. Even though the food is very tasty, without the tongue, without tasting it, we do not feel that. That's very clear, right? And then the next faculty is the body. Body contacts with the Minuba.
No, but that's an answer. This is about the body, Bante.
Yes, about the body.
So with the body, we can feel things.
Feel things, very good. Tangibles, we contact, right? What do we feel actually with the body? If I explain, heat, and then the cold, maybe soft things, maybe hard things, maybe rough things, whatever. We feel with the body, right? That's how we feel. And then the next, this is also the internal sex faculty. With that intensity, we feel the outside or external things. And then the last one is the mind. We have this mind, and then the mind is the internal faculty, and then the external faculty is the thoughts. That's very deep. That's very basic knowledge that should we have to understand about these faculties. Mind is internal, thoughts are external. Right? You know that? Sometimes we have some confusion. So this thought is mine, maybe we think about that. We feel that this thought is mine. But mine is internal, thoughts are outside or external. We have that contact with this. Did you get a basic idea about this? And this is the next thing we talk about, okay? The external thing and then the internal things, the sense faculties. This is what the Buddha understood, and this is what the Buddha wanted us to understand too. This goes to maybe Devanga. A deep part.
Bhikkhus, the I is impermanent. What is impermanent is suffering. What is suffering is non-self. What is non-self should be seen as it really is, with correct wisdom. Thus, this is not mine. This is I am not. This is not myself.
Sadhu, sadhu. This is what the Buddha explained. So even the I, the Buddha explained, is impermanent. You understand? Impermanent is not permanent. This I does not last long, and it will come to an end one day. Or maybe it gets sick, and then one day it will die. It's not permanent because the I is impermanent, right? Why the Buddha wanted to speak about like that? It's impermanent because the Buddha wanted us to understand the nature of this I, to avoid the attachments to this I and then the external things, to be liberated. If someone wants to be liberated, to understand this Dhamma fully, they want to understand the nature of these sense faculties, internal and external. How? Impermanent. Everything is impermanent. The I is impermanent. If it is impermanent, it belongs to what? Demand. For example, if something is impermanent, that belongs to, that is about suffering. Why? We suffer. Why? Because it's impermanent. If it is not impermanent, we do not want to suffer, and we have no suffering in the world. Why do we have suffering in the world? Because the things are impermanent. This body is impermanent, then we suffer. We get sick, we have pain and everything. We lose things, there's suffering. And we have many issues in the world because of what? Because of the suffering. That's what the Buddha understood and wanted us to understand too. I is suffering. What is impermanent is suffering. The I is impermanent. Because of that impermanence, it is suffering. What is suffering is non-self, which is, if it is suffering, we do not want to take it as mine. Why? Because it's suffering. It's painful. We have that understanding about the I. This I is suffering. Why? Because it's impermanent. Then the Buddha wanted you to understand, take this idea, take this wisdom and understanding, and take this into your wise consideration, to understand the reality as it is. What is non-self should be seen as it really is with correct wisdom. Thus, this is not mine. That's this. You see this italic letters I have given you. This is not mine. This is the advice of the Supreme Buddha. You want to recollect. You want to see this I, to understand. This is not mine. This I am not. This is not myself. If you reflect this advice of the Supreme Buddha, you get liberated. You understand as it really is about this I. You understand this? This is deep. And then in the same way, Buddha wanted you to understand about this ear too. This ear is impermanent. It's not permanent. If it is not permanent, it is suffering. If it is suffering, you should take this not as it is not. How do you want to reflect? This is not mine.
Swami Mahanta,
Yes?
I want to ask a question.
Okay. This today?
Yes. What does it mean by this I am not? I
This
don't think
I
that
am.
makes sense.
Very good question. This I am not. This is not mine. You understand this?
Yes.
This is not mine means this does not belong to me. This is not, this I am not means I am not this. I am not the I.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
So me is not the I. So if you think that I am my I, me is my I, it's wrong. Or maybe you do not take your I as mine, or you do not take this idea as me is my I. So I am my I. It's not.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And this is not myself means, you understand this?
Yes.
Also, it has a different meaning too, not a different meaning, a deep meaning. This is not myself means, this I is not under my control. I cannot control, I cannot keep my eyes under my control. It becomes changed. When it gets sick, when it dies, I cannot stop it. I have no power for that because it's impermanent. Right?
Yes.
It's a good question. It's a good question and it's a deep question though. Anything else?
No.
Okay, good, very good.
බොහොම පිං ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ.
Sadhu, sadhu. We will go to the ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and everything. This goes to Peter to read.
So Hansi,
Yes.
the ear is impermanent, the nose is impermanent, the tongue is impermanent, the body is impermanent, the mind is impermanent. What is impermanent is suffering. What is suffering is non-self. What is non-self should be seen as it really is, with correct wisdom thus. This is not mine, this I am not, this is not myself.
Sadhu, sadhu, Bhumapin. The same thing the Buddha explains, the same thing. Ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, everything is impermanent. And if it is impermanent, it's suffering. If it is suffering, you should reflect of those things. This is not mine, this I am not, and this is not myself. Any questions again? Okay, thank you. Okay, this is about the external sense basis. So you talk about the internal sense basis, eye, ear, and stuff. And then now we are going to talk about the external sense basis according to the wisdom of the Supreme Buddha. Aga, would you like to read this?
Realization of the 6 external sense bases. Because forms are impermanent, sounds are impermanent, others are impermanent, tastes are impermanent, tangibles are impermanent, thoughts are impermanent.
Sadhu, sadhu. See, this is the wisdom of the Buddha. Because, which is monks, dear monks, forms are impermanent, which is the things you see with your eyes. Everything is not. Everything is impermanent. Everything you see is impermanent. It's not last long. And then sounds are impermanent. That's very clear to understand. Sounds, you hear the sound and it goes away. It becomes the past. And then the odors are impermanent. Tastes are impermanent. Tangibles, thoughts, everything is impermanent. See, this is the only teacher in the world who talked about this before or after. No one talked about this, and no one wanted to understand the impermanence, to be liberated. And then this goes to Isura.
Oh, sorry, Science. What is impermanent is suffering. What is suffering is non-self. What is non-self should be seen as it really is, with correct wisdom thus. This is not mine, this I am not, this is not myself.
Right. As you understood the internal sense basis, the Buddha wanted you to reflect that is impermanent. And this is not mine, this I am not, and this is not myself. And as well, the Buddha wanted you to understand and practice about the external sense basis. What is impermanent is suffering. Even though the external things are suffering, you should reflect this as this is not mine, this I am not, and this is not myself. When you think about this, when you reflect the things like this, you will be able to understand the things as they really are, and your wisdom will increase, develop, and you will get liberated. Okay. I said that we are here to talk about the virtuous behavior of the speech of the Supreme Buddha, and it is like this. This will go to Linda.
Bante.
Do
The
you
virtues,
remember Linda this sutta?
Abhaya Kumara Sutta. I don't remember the whole sutta, Bante, but I have read this sutta before.
Okay, good.
Yeah. The virtuous words of the Blessed One from Abhaya Raja Kumara Sutta. The Blessed One does not utter speech that he knows to be untrue, false, and harmful, and which is disliked by others.
Sadhu, sadhu. I want you to understand this expression very clearly. How do you understand this? The Blessed One does not utter speech, which is he does not speak, that he knows to be untrue, false, and harmful. The Buddha knows about that. It is not true, it is false and harmful, and which is disliked by others. He does not say that. Okay, and Gauri and read me. You will get the next chance. Okay, next chance. Okay, how did you understand this? The Blessed One, he does not speak about that because it's false, it's harmful, and no one likes it. And then Buddha does not want to understand, does not want to speak about that. And then the next one, Gauri.
The Blessed One does not utter speech that he knows to be true and substantive, but which is harmful and disliked by others.
Sadhu, sadhu. Again, the Buddha does not speak. He knows it's true. That's something true. You remember the first one? That's not true. That's false. But the second thing, that's true, but he does not talk about it. What is substantive, Ninufa? Do you know this word?
No, but the sunset. Let me look it up. I'm not too sure about the definition.
Okay.
So according to Google, it's having a firm basis in reality and therefore important, meaningful, or considerable.
Okay, maybe real. Maybe
so it kind of means having a firm basis in reality. So it's looking at like the truth. That's a good way of putting it. So they're seeing the true reality.
Okay, maybe real, right? Okay. So the things are true, real, but it's harmful. That's something real, true. Actually, there's something in the world, but it's harmful and disliked by others. And then the Buddha does not want to talk about that too, right? Sandesh. How about the next thing? This is the third thing that the Buddha wanted.
The Blessed One knows the right time to explain, to speak so as to explain. What he knows to be true, substantive, and beneficial, but which is disliked by others.
Very good. And I want someone else to explain this. You understand. What about someone else?
I can explain Swaminathan.
Yeah.
So it means that the Buddha preaches the Dhamma that is true and beneficial to others, even though they don't like listening to the truth.
Yes. Yes, he speaks, right? Very good. Remember, even though that's harmful, no, that's uh, right time to speak as it explains what he knows to be true, substantive and beneficial, but which is disliked by others. He wants to talk about this. And then Ruwanya. Do you like to read?
My Swaminathan.
Good.
The Blessed One does not utter speech that he knows to be untrue, false, and harmful, but which is liked by others.
Okay, good. Sadhu, sadhu. He does not utter, he does not speak. The Buddha does not preach this because he knows that it's untrue, something false or harmful, and which is liked by others. Oh, maybe people like to hear about it, but he does not say about it. Because why? Because that's not true. That's false. That's not real. But people always ask the Buddha to speak about it, but he doesn't. Okay, you understand it? Okay, next goes to Yenuki. Yenuki is from.
Swaminathan, I'm from Sri Lanka.
You're from Sri Lanka. What time is it now?
It's 7:41 p.m.
Good. Yes, your chance.
Thank you, Swaminathan. The Blessed One does not utter speech that he knows to be true and substantive, but which is harmful, even if it is liked by others.
Okay, how did you understand this, Dinodham? How did you understand this? The Blessed One does not utter, he does not speak.
The Supreme Buddha does not speak like speech that is true. He knows to be true, but it could be harmful to others.
Okay.
Like.
Okay. He does not speak about that, right? Why? That's true. That's something true, but it's harmful. And he does not speak about that. See, this is very beautiful. What about Dehan? Dehan, are you ready?
Swaminathan, do I read it?
Yeah, next one.
Okay.
Is for you. This.
Okay. The
Yes.
Blessed One knows the right time to speak so as to explain what he knows to be true, substantive, and beneficial, and which is liked by others. Why is that? Because the realized one has compassion for sentient beings.
Sentient beings. Very good, Dehan. Dehan is from Dubai?
No, I'm from Canada.
Are you from Canada?
No, I'm in Canada.
Okay, good. Good, good. Yeah, because of the compassion of the Buddha knows the right time to speak and explain what he knows to be true, real, and beneficial, and which is liked by others. Buddha says that he wants to talk about things that he has realized, the true things, the real things. People like it to listen. And then this is the Dhamma. And he wants to talk about them. Buddha wanted others to understand that. Okay, the next one. Next one goes to Kemit. How are you, Kemit?
Good, Swaminathan.
Good?
Yes.
Oh, maybe the next chance is for Kemit, okay? This is a Gatha. Okay, Kemit. Give me a second. The blessed ones. The next thing that I wanted to talk about the Paticcasamuppada by the Supreme Buddha. Paticcasamuppada is the dependent origination. After realizing this dependent origination, he had a beautiful expression in his mind, the happy feeling, the Supreme Buddha. Oh, I understood the real journey of my past lives, and I have ended up this journey. This is how he explained in Pali, the inspired utterance. The blessed ones, amazing, blessed ones, the comma is missing, apostrophe is missing there. Inspired utterance about his liberation. Okay, everybody, after me you can repeat, okay, after me. This is how the Buddha spoke about his happy feeling. Aneka jati sansarang
Aneka jati samsaram
sanda visang anibhisang
sandha visang anibhisang
gahakarakang gave santo
ahakarakang gave santo
dukkha jati punappunang.
dukkha jati punappunang.
One more time. Aneka jati sansarang
Aneka jati samsaram
sandha visang anibhisang
sandha visang anibhisang
gahakarakang gave santo
ahakarakang gave santo
dukkha jati punappunang.
dukkha jati punappunang.
Okay, you and me together. Aneka jati sansarang sanda visang anibhisang gahakarakang gave santo dukkha jati punappunang. This is the meaning. Commit your chance. Meaning.
Through many a birth, I wandered in samsara seeking but not finding. The builder of this house called suffering. Suffering indeed is it to be born again and again.
Sadhu, sadhu. Beautiful reading, Kamik. So, after realization of this dependent origination, after becoming free of the Supreme Buddha, he said, through many a birth. So, see, he came through this samsara as suffering, and then he ended up this life, ended up his journey. And with that happy feeling, he said, through many a birth I wandered in samsara. Seeking what? Seeking the builder of this house. House is this is life, okay? House is this body maybe. And then life after life, he came through this samsara. Not only he, everybody we go. But not finding the builder of this house. Builder of this house. House is this body. Called suffering. Suffering indeed is to be born again and again. Again and again, to be born is only a suffering. And he said. And then this is aneka jati samsarang sanda visang anibhisang gahakarakang gave santo dukkha jati punappunang. The next part of this, okay, after me. Gahakaraka ditthosi
Gahakaraka ditthosi
punage hang nakahasi
punagehang nakahasi
sabbate phasuka bhagga
sabbate phasuka bhagga
gahakutang visankhitang
gahakutang visankhitang
visankhara gatang cittang
visankhara gatang cittang
tanhanang khayamajjagati.
tanhanang kayamachagati.
Again, Gahakaraka dithosi.
Gahakaraka dithosi.
Punage hangnakahasi.
Punage hangnakahasi.
Sabbate phasuka bhagga.
Sabbate phasuka bhagga.
Gahakutang visankhitang.
Gahakutang visankhitang.
Visankharagatang chittang.
Visankharagatang chittang.
Tanhanang khayamajjagati.
Tanhanang kayamachagati.
Sadhu, sadhu. The meaning, who like to read that?
Sean said, can I read the meaning?
Oh, yes.
O house builder, you are now seen. You can build no house again. I broke all the rafters. I smashed the ridgepole of the house. My mind has attained the unconditioned. Achieved is the end of craving.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. It's beautiful. Okay. Anybody else to explain about the first part of this Gatha? Oh, house builder, you are seen now. Who can explain this?
Can I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think it means that the house builder is seen.
Yeah, who is the house builder?
Suffering, like suffering is realized.
Okay. The house builder is the
Blessed one.
the tanha or the craving, and then you can build no house again. The house builder, I caught up you, and you cannot build my house again. I broke all the rafters. That's beautiful, huh? So he says that I have understood and I have broken everything that can make the house again. I smashed all the ridgepole. Ridgepole is the main rafter in the roof, and then I have broken it. I have smashed it of the house. My mind has attained the unconditioned. I have no attachments to this world, and achieved is the end of craving. End of craving. I have achieved the end of craving. Tanha. This is the beautiful expression of the Supreme Buddha after becoming enlightened and the Bodhi tree. I know that the things we learn these days is they are very deep and maybe a little hard to understand, but don't worry about it, okay? This is what the Buddha understood. This is his wisdom and this is his liberation. This is his realization. And this realization is not something simple. It's very deep. So coming through this endless journey, he became enlightened. He became the Buddha. Ended up the journey, ending up this journey in the samsara. And then this is very, very rarely happen in the journey of the samsara. The Buddhas are born very rarely in this human world. And becoming the Buddha, he becomes the teacher for humans, for devas, and for Brahmins. And then he preaches the same Dhamma he understood. And then the Buddha gives us this good Dhamma to practice and for our liberation too. And then you know that when you learn about these deep parts of the Supreme Buddha's teachings, you think that, oh, this is very deep. Even we do not understand some words. But everybody, this is the only thing that everyone should understand to be free from all the suffering in the samsara. Otherwise, We will have the same journey that we came in the samsara. Life after life we will be born. Here and there we will go. After this human life, we are not certain that we will go somewhere else. Maybe in a bad world because of our bad karma. Maybe in a good world because of our good karma. Maybe to the same human world. Anyways, we have this repeated cycle of birth and death and rebirth. This is the journey until we understand the real Dhamma of the Supreme Buddha that we taught, the wisdom. That's why we just need one thing to do first, which is called Saddha, or which is called the faith, confidence in the Buddha, which is like you are happy about the wisdom of the Supreme Buddha. You have an inspiration in your mind towards the wisdom and the understanding of the Supreme Buddha. The Buddha is the ultimate leader of the world, the ultimate giver of the Nibbana to us. Then you have that happy feeling about the Supreme Buddha, and then you will get this opportunity to practice and to get the chance to be liberated in the future.